Hello, good morning, welcome back to my channel. I'm Autumn Ashley, and today is going to be a 5K writing vlog. I am entering into Act 2. I have maybe a little less than 2,000 words for that act, not for the story total. I think I'm around 16 or 17,000 words into the entire manuscript. Over the next couple of days, I would like to write 5,000 words into the second act. I haven't written much since Camp April ended, and we're in the middle of May now. I know I took about 2 weeks off from working on this project, and I've noticed with myself that when I go pretty hard during one of the camps or NaNoWriMo in November, after that I usually need like a week or two of recovery time because I feel like I get so consumed by my story, which I love, but I like to take a little bit of time off to reset and then dive back in. And I want to use the rest of this week to dive back into the story. I have a few little things that I have to run around and do today, and it's supposed to rain later, so hopefully I can make it back home and do a little bit of writing while it's raining outside. I'm ready to start my adventure, go and do the things that I need to do today so I can get back and do a little bit of writing. I'm back from doing all of the errand type things that I had to do this morning slash kind of this afternoon because it's almost 2 o'clock now, and I'm gonna eat a little bit of lunch. So I want to write because I need to work on my story, but I also have an audiobook on Libby that has to be returned on Sunday, and I'm like 15% into that audiobook, and it's a pretty long audiobook. I kind of want to flip between working on those two things, writing and listening to that audiobook. I am currently listening to and reading along because I have the paperback version of The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. So far, I'm really liking it. Right now I'm gonna eat some lunch. Got some leftovers. It's a buffalo chicken wrap and it's spectacular. So what I'm thinking about doing is flipping between the two, writing for an hour and then reading for an hour, writing for an hour, reading for an hour, or do 2 straight hours of reading and then 2 straight hours of writing. One of those two things. I just finished eating, but I am gonna watch a little bit more of Beauty and the Beast before I read. I am 67 pages into it, and I'm really enjoying this. But what I wanted to talk about is writing. So I haven't made a lot of progress recently in my story, and I think I talked about this a little bit earlier, where I have taken a little bit of a break. I don't even want to say a break because I worked really hard during Camp Nano. I always feel like after I spend a lot of time writing and really diving deep into my story, I need a break. And that's something I've noticed. The more I've been writing and the more consistently I've been writing and taking my writing more seriously, I have noticed that I need to occasionally take those breaks. I need to make sure that I don't burn myself out, because that's something that I usually do with my hobbies and things that I enjoy doing. I love doing them so much, but then I almost get to the point where I burn myself out because I do it so much and it's like all I think about, all I do. It just creates an unhealthy balance, if that makes sense, because I've recognized that with my writing and with this story, that I have been trying to take more breaks, but I'm still able to get back into my writing, and I've been enjoying how things have been going with this project. I think it's about to start raining. I showed a few clips earlier. The sky was so dark and I can hear the thunder off in the distance. I'm really excited. So I'm gonna go ahead and start reading and listen to the thunder and just enjoy the afternoon. Okay, so I just sat down. I am going to start my writing session for today, and I am going to be doing this for the next 2 hours. I am just going to check in with you guys at the hour marks just to keep my own pace up. And I think at the beginning of this video I said I was starting Act 2. Let me just clarify. I'm not starting Act 2. I'm already in Act 2, and I am either on Chapter 8 and I'm starting Chapter 9, or I have like a smidge left of Chapter 8. And I am going to be working on Chapter 9. I gave you guys a little bit of false information earlier, and for that I apologize, but I am for sure in Act 2. Right now what I'm doing is really exploring the magic in the world and kind of having that mentor-apprentice type relationship starting to unfold. I'm really trying to create a lot of dynamic and drama between the characters, because I think my mistake in Act 1, I made the characters get along a little too much. And I think that is just because I didn't want them to come across as not working together, but that's the whole point of the story. They automatically can't all be getting along, cracking jokes. That is something that needs to progress through the story, because they're not all friends. Some of them are strangers, and some people have their own agenda, so yeah, so that's something. I feel like I already kind of made a mistake with that in the first act, but draft 1, it's fine. I can fix it later. But I really want to hammer in the character interactions for the second act, really put these characters to the limit and to try and get them to really go at each other. Looking back on it, I haven't reread Act 1. I think I need a little bit more drama, because we love drama. I need to really work on that. Working on Act 2, playing around with the magic system a little bit, doing a little bit more world building, and really throwing those characters into situations that they don't want to be in, but they're just gonna have to suck it up, Buttercup. Now that I've talked for 5 minutes, I'm gonna start writing now, and I'll see you guys in an hour. Here's the hour update. I have a little bit more of Chapter 8 that I want to go through, but I have 2 characters that I'm working on right now. I want to build more of what their connection is and give them a little bit more backstory. So I'm just playing around with these 2 characters right now, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I worked a little bit more on the magic system, and I've mentioned this in a previous vlog. With this magic system, I kept it very basic when I was outlining it, because I wanted to give myself the ability to kind of discovery draft the magic system. So far I am liking it. I am going to be having a lot of work cut out for me working on the second draft of this and all of the future drafts, trying to nail down the magic system, the limitations, and who all is a magic user and why, and all of those questions. We're making pretty good progress, and I am enjoying the magic system. I know once I get this draft written and I go back and revisit the magic system, I know it's going to be a mess, but I think I'm giving myself a lot of good ideas, and I'm throwing a lot of possibilities out there for myself, and I'm really having a lot of fun with this magic system. For the most part, I did a decent job with laying out the groundwork for the magic system. By no means is it perfect. It wasn't just thrown in just to have magic in the world. It makes sense. I have a little bit more of Chapter 8. I think I'm like 2,200 words into Chapter 8. I have like 300-ish more words for my max limit for my chapters, because I'm trying to keep my chapters between 2,000 words and 2,500 words, just so I don't get too long-winded and like an overkill with each of the chapters. But then I also don't want my chapters to be too short to where they're like 100 words and then I move on to the next chapter. I want to give myself a little bit of substance for each of the chapters. So far, I'm really not having too much of an issue with that. So yay me. The manuscript currently is sitting at, oh wow, okay. I think I said earlier it was like 16 to 17,000 words. So the total manuscript as of right now is 18,892 words. We are almost maybe like 1/3 of the way through the entire manuscript. I'm feeling pretty darn good about this chapter and that 1 hour writing session. So I want to dive in a little bit more. I think I ended up making a little bit of a mistake, and I definitely told you guys another little lie. In my last update, I had said that that chapter was, I think, 2,200 words. I think that's what I said. It was totally false. It was over 2,500 words, which was my limit, but I wasn't finished with the chapter, so I just kept writing the chapter. I wrote a little bit more, wrapped it up the best I could, and then now I'm working on chapter 9. So chapter 8 did go over my limit of 2,500 words. I didn't really want to go over that limit, but it is what it is. What I guess I could have done is taken that scene and then just put it in chapter 9, but does it really matter at this point? Absolutely not. I just wanted to clarify that. But more exciting news is I ended up passing 19,000 words in the entire manuscript. And give me 1 second to pause this so I can tell you guys how many words I got today. I need to write this down because I'll forget. For today, I have been writing, I would say, for about an hour and a half. That's a good general-ish area of time. I have written 1,416 words today. I'm pleased with that word count. So what I could do is write another like 250-ish words to complete today. I would just have to write that same amount of word count each day for like the next 2 days, and then I will hit 5,000 words according to the calculator on my computer. I didn't really plan this out very well. I just dove right into it. I woke up today and was like, I think over the next 3 days, I want to write 5,000 words. And that's what I did, or planning on doing. I could write another 251 words today. I don't think that would be an issue. The math that I did was 5,000 words divided by 3 for 3 days, and it ended up averaging what would be the NaNoWriMo word count each day, which is 1,667 words-ish, kind of around that. So then, yeah, you know, math, that's how it works. Since I've been writing for the last hour and a half, I am going to take a break, refill my water, all that fun stuff. And it is raining outside, you guys. And maybe that's why I'm vibing, because it's nice and rainy outside. It's all nice and cozy. That's how I'm doing. Let me know how you're doing with your writing projects. If you have any updates you guys want to share with me, drop them down below. Good morning, my writing friends. It's not as early as I'm making it appear to be. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning, but I am not really a big morning person, so here we are. I am gonna try to do this new thing just today, just to see how it goes, is to write in the morning a little bit after I wake up. So I typically write in the afternoon or at night when I have everything else that's finished for the day and I can just focus on writing. Since I'm trying to get 5,000 words in the next couple of days, I want to write now. So go ahead and get a few hundred words right out the gate and see how that goes. And an update from last night, I did not write that extra 251 words. Not that big of a deal. Since it's only 10 o'clock in the morning today, I know I can get that word count. The reasons why I usually don't write in the mornings is honestly because I had said this earlier, is I'm not a big morning person. I feel like because I'm still waking up and like I'm sleepy-eyed and I don't know, I just feel like in the morning that's not the best time for me to write. I took a shower, as you can tell. I made breakfast. I have my coffee and my lemon water, so I am going to eat all of that while I hype myself up to write. And I want to write for about an hour just to see how much I can get, just to see how I do at a different time of day, if I can kind of keep up the same pace, because who knows, maybe that's just in my head. But I have a feeling I won't write quite as many words because I am definitely still waking up, even though I've been up for about an hour. So I'll update you guys in a bit. It's 45 minutes later. I am still working on chapter 9, but I made some pretty good progress. I ended up writing 1,223 words, still on chapter 9, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what I was working on. So far, I have 2 different scenes in this chapter. So with this story, I originally wanted it to just follow my main character. I'm almost noticing that some of the other characters need to get other little scenes to help create the world and to create a dynamic between the characters and what everybody is kind of after. With this chapter so far, I have done a lot of like the side characters, trying to explain a little bit as to what their story is and what they're after, like why are they here? In the other scene, it was more of not so much tension, but it was showing these 2 characters having a strong friendship. But these 2 characters, I eventually want them to have a romance. It's not a very big romance in the story because that's not the point of the story. I am trying to experiment with writing romance. I'm not a very good writing romance type of gal, so we're trying to experiment, we're trying to practice, get a little bit better at our writing craft, and we're shooting for a decent little mini subplot love story. I also wanted to share this because I did not share this last night. In my little plot grid here, this is the first 8 chapters, but because I'm on chapter 9, I got to flip the page and I'm on the second sheet of paper. So this will be the next, I think the next 8 chapters. So it'll be 9 to 17. I think that's 8 chapters. That sounds about right. I have one more sheet after this that will be chapter 18 through 27. And then I'll be done with the story, which is pretty crazy. Very excited, very exciting to see actual progress being made with the story. But right now, I'm gonna take a break since I wrote for a pretty solid 45 minutes. I would like to write a little bit more today since I didn't write the 251 words last night. Definitely have to make sure I get to that today so I can stay on track for everything. In total, I have written 2,639 words for the last 2 days, which means I only have 2,361 words to go until I hit 5,000 words for these 3 days, which is very exciting. My total word count now for the entire manuscript is 20,447 words. Definitely making some good progress in the story too, so yay. So I feel like today's updates have been few and far between. It's been a very nice day and I'm sitting back down. I need to edit a video, but I am drinking a protein shake. I've never had these before. I don't even know what the brand is because it was $1.65 and so I got it because it was on sale. But it's blueberry, vanilla, and almond butter, and you can literally taste all 3 things. So it's really good. So I'm gonna drink that. I am going to edit a YouTube video. It's really not as late as it like seems like it is, so I am hoping to get a little bit more writing done a little bit later because I'm still sitting at the same word count that I was sitting at earlier today. So hopefully I can get some writing in. Well, not hopefully, I will get some writing in and work towards my 5,000 word goal. So it's pretty late, but I ended up getting in one more writing sprint today. I have done 2 45-minute writing sprints today. The first one I did earlier, and today right now, I just finished doing another 45-minute sprint and I ended up writing 1,250 words. In total so far for the last 2 days, I have written 3,889 words, which means tomorrow I only have to write 1,111 words. Totally doable. I am 100% not concerned about it. I'll be totally honest, I was a little nervous that I wouldn't hit that because it was getting late and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do another writing sprint while I was a little sleepy, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put my music on. I'm gonna write this other scene and we'll just see what happens. And I'm so glad that I did because the scene turned out okay. I don't know if it's gonna make it to the second draft. So my characters are kind of assuming things right now and they're just all talking back and forth because there are some events that have lined up to make them believe what's happening. Like this is potentially something that could happen. And I don't know if I'm in love with it, but it flowed pretty well. I am getting to know some of the characters that are in the scene and they're interacting with each other. So I'm learning the characters, learning the story and the tone and everything. The scene is definitely not useless. I definitely did the best that I could writing the scene and I feel okay about it. I feel proud that I decided to do a writing sprint tonight. I was giving you guys word counts, but let me give you time frames. Yesterday, which was the 18th, I had an hour and 30-minute writing session, and that was when I wrote the 1,416 words. And then today I did two 45-minute sprints. The first one I wrote 1,223 words, and then in the second sprint I just ended up writing 1,250 words. That is a total of 3 hours worth of writing. So that's the amount of hours that it's taken me to get the 3,889 words. Is that what it was? Yeah. I have written, I think, 5 or 6 scenes, but it's 2 chapters because I was on chapter 8, I think yesterday. I should have written that down, but I think it was chapter 8 and then chapter 9. And I'm not sure if I'm finished with chapter 9 or if I need to add a little bit more. I need to check the total word count to make sure I hit all of the plot points I wanted to for that chapter before I move on. But that is the update. Who is ready to finish writing 5,000 words? I am. Obviously, it's the next day and it's a lot brighter outside. I am super excited to write 1,111 words. I believe I have a smidge left of chapter 9 and then it will put me kind of a little bit into chapter 10. I'm gonna write for an hour and I know that I will easily hit that word count. I might end up finishing chapter 10 too. Like I'm just gonna keep going even after when I feel like I know I hit the word count that I need. I'm just gonna keep going, write as much as I can for the 1 hour and then I'll check in with you guys and do a nice little recap and then I'll be done with my 5K word. It's not really a weekend, but my little challenge type thing. I did it! So I have been writing for about an hour and I would like to talk about what I wrote, word counts, and chapters. Let's start with word count. We mentioned last night that I only needed 1,111 words to reach my 5,000 word count goal. In this hour, I ended up writing 1,633 words, which means I wrote, for the last 3 days, I wrote a total of 5,522 words. And that was for a total of 4 hours of writing, which I am so proud of because it has honestly been a while since I had scheduled out this much time to do good quality writing, and I feel really proud of writing for 4 hours and going over my 5,000 word count goal. So that means I have a total word count for the entire manuscript is 22,331 words. I am about halfway through chapter 10, which is the second chapter, which is the third chapter in Act 2. I had finished chapter 9 last night. I couldn't remember. I ended up not adding anything during this writing session for chapter 9, and I just went straight into chapter 10. And chapter 10, so far I have 2 scenes in that chapter. One of them is kind of piggybacking off of a scene that happened in chapter 9. The other scene is more of creating a backstory and asking some more questions and a little bit more intrigue for one of the other characters. I'm pretty pleased with all of the progress that I made in the last few days working on this story. I hope this was inspiring to you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this vlog. Let me know down below what your current word count is for your story. What genre are you writing in? How are you feeling about your project so far? Let me know all of those details down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, I'm Autumn Ashley, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.